Welcome back to part 4 of building your car in Assetto Corsa or modifying any car in the game. This part of the series is going to cover tires. Now, the way that I do tires is using the Content Manager widget that they have here. If you go to the Content folder and click on your car, you'll see a Replace Tires section. So we're going to be working based off of this widget, but it's not time to jump into this just yet. So today we're actually going to be working on a client's car. I'm not going to work on the GT86 today just because I have too many things going on. So crushing two birds with one stone here. I have tire specs from my client, and those are 265, 35, 18 tires all around the car. So we're going to put those on the car. He didn't give me a tire compound. So I'm just going to do a basic semi-slick tire, a 200 treadwear tire, typical kind of tire that you're going to see on a street car going to the track. And actually, you know what? We'll give him different options. I'll give him a street tire option as well if his tires are not as good as semi-slicks. So the street tire option would be something like a 300, 400 treadwear tire that you might see on any kind of street car. So there's a couple of values we need to put into Assetto Corsa before we start messing with this tire widget. The first thing that we're going to do is go into the folder for the car and go down to the tires file. So where you see front and rear, we're going to change just a couple of lines here first. So we have the tire width, tire radius, and rim radius. The width, is the width of the tire. This is in millimeters. The radius is the outer radius of the tire, the outer diameter of the tire over 2. And then the rim radius is the radius of the rim, but you have to do it a little bit different for Assetto Corsa. I'll show you guys in a second. So in order to get these numbers, first we're going to go into Excel. We're going to do some calculations here. I put in 265 for the width. That's just given. Now the next thing we need to do is calculate the radius. So I have a website here. It's called calculator.net. What I do is I put in 265, 35, 18 and hit calculate. And then this right here, the diameter, is the outer diameter of the tire. So we're going to put that into this radius section right here and then divide by 2 because it's radius, not diameter. And we're the same front and rear here. We just need the rim radius. So what this is going to be is the diameter of the wheel, so not the tire, but the wheel. He has 18-inch wheels on the car, divided by 2 plus 0.5. That's just how we do it in Assetto Corsa, and that's in the inches section. So we have 18 over 2 plus 0.5. So we get 9.5 inches for the rim radius, and then convert it to millimeters, it's 241.3. So these are the three numbers we're going to put in both the front and rear of this car. Let's go ahead and do that right now. 265 is already there. Radius should be 321.5, so 0.3215. Rim radius should be 2413. And then since it's the same in the rear, I'm just going to copy that and paste it in the rear. So now that's all you have to do for now in the tires file. We're going to hit save. That's all I have to do in the Excel sheet as well. This is not a long part. So now we're going to go back to the car and content manager and pack our data. And then we're actually going to delete the data folder because some new data is going to populate in the file, so we're going to want to unpack it again after we go through this tire widget. So now we go to replace tires, and you can see that the tires that we just added, you get like a nice A saying that all the specs, the dimensions are a good match, and then the tires that were here, the other two that we didn't edit, they fail. They don't have the same dimensions, and that's fine. We're going to actually delete these sets of tires, just hit the X on both of them. You can see that it does say 265, 25, 18. It is 265, 35, 18. Assetto Corsa just has a weird way of doing these calculations because we had to add 0.5 to the rim radius. It's fine. This is how you model the tires accurately. So the next thing we want to do is go to generate new ones. We're going to generate new tires and drag them in here. So scroll, if you don't have anything here, there'll be a widget that says create new. So what you're going to do is create a formula for bringing in a tire compound. I already have mine here, but I'm going to show you how to do that. you get this tire machine editor here. On the left, you have these filters of all different types of tires that we can select to create a tires machine, which is basically like a formula where you can input tire dimensions, like the width, the radius, and all that, and it'll give you a fairly accurate tire based on any other tires that you use to get data from. So like if I want to use all of Kunos's semi-slick tires, I'm going to hit the plus on semi-slicks and only semi-slicks. But I only want Kunos, so we're just going to hit Kunos here. I don't want other modded cars. I only want Kunos semi-slicks. So plus here on semi-slicks. If you want to select only certain cars to get data from, you can do that, but I'm just going to grab all the semi-slicks from every car. What you want to do now here is copy all of like the options that I have here. I set this up a long time ago, and honestly I don't remember everything, but you want to hit high precision for sure, just because, so let's be precise, there's no reason why not. Uncheck train only, and then just hit create new tires machine. It might take a second because it's doing a lot of calculations. And now it has like a whole curve of different values to give tires based off of all the different dimensions like profile and whatnot. You can look through all this if you want. It doesn't really matter right now. What we want to do is now save this semi-slick tire generator. So I'll save over what I already have because maybe I have a more accurate model now. I don't remember when I did this last, but type in semi-slicks after you hit save. Make sure you change the short name to like SS or whatever you want this tire short name to be when you pull it up in the tuning window when you're in game. Semi-slicks are usually just SS. So now I save the semi-slicks tire generator. And then we can close out of this tires machine widget. Now we're back to this generate new ones tab in the original window. And you should now have this semi-slicks option. And like I was just showing you guys, all the different tabs for different tires, you can select to create your generator. If you want, you can make all different kinds of tire generators. So you have an option for slicks, hypercar road, and all that. But I just did semi-slicks for this video. So let's hit semi-slicks. Now what it automatically does is create tires based off of your front and rear. So we're going to drag these in. Normally you'd have to drag in the front and then drag in the rears. I'm going to delete this original option because I don't know how good the original tires were. But bring those in, select the check mark. I'm also going to make street tires for him. So apparently I don't have a street tire generator. So same thing, I'm going to go here, hit the plus on street, and create machine. And then I'll save it as street and ST for the names. We'll call this street. Save, exit out, and yep, we have our street option here now. And yep, we have our two options. Whichever one you have checked would be the default tires that the car loads up with. So we'll put them on semi-slicks by default. Then we're going to hit save, and we're done. That's actually all you have to do to put tires on the car. I'll show you guys real quick what it looks like. So now we're in the game here. If we go to the tuning menu, go to tires, and yes, we are automatically starting with the semi-slicks. And then we have the option to switch to street, just like we had in the tires widget. Keep in mind though, when you use street tires, you're going to want to bump up the pressures a lot more than the semi-slicks. So the semi-slicks start with the right amount of pressure. They're all green and everything. But yeah, that's it. That's all there is to creating tires. If you really want to mess around with other parts of the tires file, you can totally do that without using the tires widget, but it is very overwhelming. There's like a whole thermal section you have to tune, and there's a lot more things going on with just the regular tires section. Like you can see all these values. It's a lot. So I'm gonna link you guys to the Assetto Corsa mod manual. If you want to look through that, they explain what each of these lines are. I'm not doing all that. It's just too much. It's just so much easier to use the tires generator, although it might not always be 100% accurate. In my experience, it has been pretty good.